Ben Florsheim, welcome to the Calzone, dude. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be on the Calzone. This is my first time.
First time on the Calzone. Mm-hmm. We've got some big news, dude. We have started a team. Me and Ben and Jamie and Nico and Brian's part of it. Super excited. The last couple of weeks has been pretty crazy, dealing with like some back end system stuff, setting up the team stuff, new business cards, which we still have to do, all kinds of stuff. But dude, I'm super jacked to have you on the team for a couple of different reasons, and one of those being your background and your experience. Can you tell the people what where you're coming from, what you did in the past, and how you got here?
Totally. I appreciate being a part of the team. I'm super excited. Cal is a great dude. And I think what I'm most excited about is the camaraderie and like the energy that you bring, and that because you bring that energy, it invigorates the team. Right. And like,
man, am I blushing? Is the camera picking up that blush, dude?
I'm serious. I think that's one of my the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, and the thing that I'm excited about.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. And yeah, so a little bit about me. I was born a long time. No, I'm just kidding. I moved to Reno in 2010, finished up school here. So I am, graduate of UNR, which I'm very proud of. There's a lot of history there. We can go into it at a different time. Which is a big part of my story, and I'm very open about it.
Which is
cool. But so in 2010, kind of a really quick, cool story. I bought my first house when I moved here, and I rented 3 rooms and paid for the mortgage while I was going to college.
Right.
So like, and that's kind of always had that entrepreneurial side of myself. But after I got my real estate license, it was during the downturn of the market, and I was working for Florsheim Homes, which is a family building company. Mm-hmm. That's been in the family, still in the family. I'm no longer a part of them, but
the business, not the family.
Yeah. So during the downturn of the market, they weren't selling any new homes.
Right.
So they started purchasing homes at the courthouse steps in the San Joaquin Valley, and I started doing that for them up here in Reno.
Right.
And we probably flipped, while I was with them for a couple of years, over 50 homes.
Right.
And then from there, once the market started coming back, I became their new home sales agent. So went through 3 different projects with them, sold over 100 homes for them. And then after that, kind of, that's when I parted ways and kind of wanted to step out of the shadow of my family and start doing my own thing. Struggled, man, for the first couple of years. And that's when I met Cal, when I moved over to another office. And in that time, trying to figure out who I was, what was going on, I decided to step away from real estate completely. I kept my license, and just before that, I picked up my broker's license and my California license. I'm
just taking all those tests, dude.
Exactly. I thought more was better. Mm-hmm. And so took a step away from real estate altogether and decided to open up a coaching company and started life coaching. Did that for just under 4 years here, and decided to close that business just a few months back, so end of 2022. And about a little less than a month ago, reached out to Cal. Was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing, and like, you're my first call. He was like, radical.
I do say that a lot, dude.
And just after the past 2 weeks, like helping some clients, getting to go to a showing with Cal, and like seeing how we work together, Cal getting to see how I work a little bit, and him actually saying to me like, hey, like I see the light coming on for you, and I'm like, yeah, I feel it. Like, it's been cool.
Right. So, super fun, dude. Yeah. So a ton of experience in new home sales, and honestly, when you wanted to come on the team, I didn't even see this as, I knew that you had new home sales experience, right? But I didn't see it as such a value add for our clients.
Well, you get to see it in action too.
Right, dude. Right, exactly. And I got to see that a little bit. I've got to see that over the last couple of weeks a couple of times. We had a new client come in, referral from a past client. So thanks, Merrick. You're rad. You were able to get Tommy in there with some huge incentives. So I wanted to dive into, as far as bringing some value to the viewers of this, all 9 of them. What's out there?
8 because there's one sitting in here.
Right. What kind of incentives are out there for new builds? Because, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but there's no inventory on the market. I mean, we're back to like 500 homes on the market for sale in Northern Nevada, which is nutty. But buyers are getting frustrated, and they need a place to buy. They have to buy. A lot of times the new home sales are kind of out of reach for some people because of all the updates and all the upgrades in these houses. But, it's kind of neat to see what you did for this client. Take us through that a little bit, and so we can kind of show some people that it is in fact an option, a huge option for some people.
Yeah. I really quick, just to touch on something that you said, it's so interesting how the tables get turned, right? So we're in a spot where people are struggling to find and get in homes that they want to get into, where
right.
A year ago we were struggling to get people into contract because they were getting outbid.
Right.
It's just like how quickly that can happen. And I'm excited to talk with Brady a little bit about kind of some of why that's happening. Mm-hmm. But anyways, to talk about, more about new homes here, and I will preface, this is very market dependent. So right now,
good call.
Airing of this podcast, right? We're beginning of first quarter of 2023. Mm-hmm. Very market dependent, but definitely this happens in cycles. So not to say that this isn't going to happen again. Mm-hmm. Right. But so the clients that we had went into a big builder, meaning, traded on the stock exchange, right? Mm-hmm. So we have your mom and pops all the way up to, big box builders, right? Mm-hmm. Where, so I would say there's going to be a spread in the incentives that these builders can offer. And the bigger guys are going to be able to offer a little bit more right now because they have investors that they need to, keep happy. Right. Yeah, exactly. And the one that we got into, which, seems like it's been pretty normal for the past 30, 45 days, we got $70,000 from the builder, and then an additional $30,000 from the lender, $10,000 of which went to closing costs. The other $20,000 went to buy down the rate. So
huge.
So yeah, where
for the length of the loan, right? Not just a temporary buy.
For the life of the loan. And I don't want to quote any of the rates because that's all going to change,
right?
Constantly. But the fact that they're giving, the lender's giving that and the builder's giving that, versus a year ago when we were, you were adding $100,000 to these homes. Now we're taking it off the top.
Now we get it as an incentive.
Exactly.
Dude. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And then maybe you go into I guess how many options are out there right now as far as new builds go? I know that there's a few developments. I know that you've been doing a lot of research on it. Yeah. There's quite a few in a few different areas of town, and they seem to be doing all right. They're not building nearly as fast as they were. Yeah. And we're looking at buying something that we're not waiting for these to be built anymore. A lot of these are quick deliveries, which is changing the game too.
Even more incentives on,
right? Exactly.
They need these things off the books,
right?
And you will know that, right, when you walk into these home centers, right? They're going to say quick close or move in ready. They're going to use certain terms like that,
right?
And if I could give advice, right, if you are dumb enough to walk into a new home sales center without a real estate agent, without Calorie,
right?
Plug. The one thing that I would ask, okay, when I'm walking through a model, even as an agent, I'm asking the new home sales agent, Okay, client A and B, I want you to hear this. What is included in this model that we're standing in right now?
Right.
Because a lot of these builders in town, again, I don't want to name any names, but a lot of these guys in town are dressing these things to the nines.
Mm-hmm.
And you're adding,
hundreds of thousands of dollars of upgrades.
Exactly. And these clients walk in and, they get wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? And I gotta reel them back in. So I really try and prep my clients before we walk in. Hey,
Right.
these are some of the questions that I'm going to ask. These are why I'm going to ask these questions,
Right.
because I want to make sure that you guys understand exactly what you're getting and exactly what you're going to have to pay the difference on.
Right.
And it could be just like, 6 extra rows of tiles.
Exactly.
Right? Where this is supposed to be carpet and this is a $1,500 or $2,000 upgrade.
Right.
Right. So that is something I would ask.
Yeah.
If I can give you like one piece of advice, if you're going to walk into a new home sales center
Right.
by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I mean, it's a really good idea to use an agent. I think so. And if you had told me that 10 years ago, I would have told you to, fly a kite. And I'll be honest with you. I'll give you the reason why, because those agents are making more money if an agent doesn't walk in.
100%.
And I can say that today, and I'm okay saying it, right?
Right.
Cal or I, you guys don't have to pay us out of your pocket. The builder's going to pay us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're there to represent you.
Right.
Right.
We're in
to
their
ask
corner.
the questions. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So let's just recap this real quick, dude. Lots we talked about. We started a team. We didn't talk about it, but we have a new freaking setup here for the Calzone, which is super sick. I don't really know where to look yet at anything.
This isn't an
I
Apple
I
commercial.
don't know
This
what
is
I'm
not an
doing with
Apple
my
commercial.
hands, but we'll get it down, dude. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah.
I sound really good in this microphone, so I'm excited to continue using it.
I'm glad we get to use this stuff because it was collecting dust.
And new builds. There's a ton of opportunity for buyers out there right now, and as far as incentives go, and just pure inventory from a pure inventory standpoint, there's stuff to look at instead of stuff to try to walk through that you feel better wearing a hard hat through, dude. I mean, some of the stuff on the market as far as resale goes right now is pretty ugly, but team, new microphones set up. And new builds are a hell of a way to go for buyers looking for property right now. And dude, that's all I got for now. Let's wrap this sucker up.
Cool. Do you have a cool Calzone wrap up?
I don't, dude. No? I don't. No, but we should come up with something.
We definitely need to.
Yeah. See you from the Calzone. Ciao.